have side effects that lead to disabilities.
Make sure to tune in on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. on Health and Lifestyle.
Say bye-bye to FOMO, the fear of missing out, by downloading the KBC Online app that gives you access to everything you love. Get the latest news, sports,
is a class
music, entertainment news, live radio, and so much more at the palm of your hand. To get the app, simply search KBC Mobile Digital App in your Google Play or App Store and download the app. Catch what you want, anytime, anywhere. Stay connected. Stay ahead with KBC Mobile Digital App.
Happy Sunday and beautiful afternoon to you from wherever you're watching this live broadcast from. Thank you so much for choosing KBC Channel 1 to inform you this Sunday afternoon. A number of stories shaping the news today in general news as well as sports. This is Lunchtime News. I'm Doreen Arange. Byron Abuli is our sign language interpreter. And now, we begin this live broadcast with some sad news, where at least 6 people have lost their lives and 26 others were critically injured in a tragic road accident along Bomet-Narok Highway Saturday evening. Of the 6, 3 passengers died on the spot, while 3 others died at Olulunga Hospital while receiving treatment. The accident involved a school bus that collided head-on with a Nissan Matatu. Preliminary reports indicate that the accident occurred when the bus driver crashed into the Matatu while overtaking. Police have since launched a manhunt for the bus driver, who fled the scene immediately after the accident.
Mimi sikujua, nilikuwa ninalala tu hivi. Sasa kushtukia nikasikia mlio wa gari. Kwa hivyo mimi sikujua. Tuliposikia tukitoka huko tukapata gari imegonga ingine. Tunatoka Masai Mara, maneno ya kanisa. Tunakuja huko Jumapili, leo ndio wakati tunarudi nyumbani. Naona gari ilifika hapa inaanza yunga kwa para. Yunga ikagonga mahali. Tulikuwa watu 30.
NARC Kenya Party leader Martha Karua has called on President William Ruto to address the concerns raised by Kenyans, particularly on the cost of living, respect for human rights, and adherence to the Constitution. Speaking in Ikolomani, Kakamega County, Karua criticized the executive, accusing the government of hatching a plan to reintroduce the controversial finance bill through the back door.
We are going for Christmas very sad because we know the Finance Bill 2024, rejected by Kenyans, has been returned through the back door. And we know there is going to be a lot of hardship as we cross to the new year, which is robbing Kenyans of access to health. Many people do not know how they will return their children to school. A lot of hardship everywhere. My appeal to the people: we are not completely blameless as voters. We elect with emotion instead of seriously considering the CV, the background of the people we are choosing.
Still on that political beat, Embu Senator Alexander Mundigi wants elected leaders in the region to work in unity and utilize the resources availed by the government for the benefit of the citizenry. Following the recent spate of political differences amongst a section of leaders that have played in the public gallery, Mundigi says no meaningful development can be realized in a politically charged environment, hence the need for harmony. He spoke during a book launch by Bishop Samuel Nginyi of Redeemed Gospel Church in Runyanja's constituency of Embu County.
Those who are preaching because of the goodies.
Ningeomba makanisa yote katika Embu County iweze kuomba vile tulianza hii safari mwaka wa 2022 wakati tulichaguliwa, tuweze kurudi kwa ile njia ya kusemesana, ya kuongea. Kwa hii kipindi imembakia ndio tuweze kuona maendeleo.
Kwa hivyo tukubali sisi sote tushikane, we support the president, tuweka kija hapa akuje tuletee maendeleo.
And a section of artists from Baringo County has appealed for integration of music and art in the fight against insecurity in banditry-prone areas of the vast Rift Valley region. They spoke during a music concert which saw artists from various communities present their pieces themed on harmonious coexistence.
At the Kenya School of Government in Kabarnet Saturday night, music serenades the air. While it is a festive season, this music and art here is solely to spread the gospel of peaceful living.
Music, as we said, transcend all cultures. The moment we use music sana to reach out to the community for peace and for nini, and having cultural events and bring different communities together. Itasaidia sana to bring peace among communities. Because sometimes the animosity is because watu hawa interact.
Especially ukipata watu wa different communities wakifanya collaborations, inafanya hiyo ngoma inapenya zaidi into hearts za wase. Na kuweza kuchange community zetu towards kushow wase majo ni past tense kuishi tribal. Tunafaa kuwa tunaishi tribe all generation.
Yeah. Insecurity has been rife among various warring communities in Baringo County and within the expansive Rift Valley. Music, they say, may be an alternative approach for the government to rid the region of the menace and foster development.
We always approach mambo ya banditry from the wrong end. Tunaendanga tukizima moto. Instead tunafaa kuenda tukisensitize because the community itaenda ikichange as much as you teach them.
I believe if government itatilia manani hizi talents ziko huku, washikilie hizi talents, especially key persons kwa society, community kama mheshimiwa hapa, kama champion Mungu itamheshimiwa jini mtu wa nguvu sana. Tukimshikilia, the rest ni history.
The artists have also been carrying out mentorship programs for the youth, pleading with them to embrace education and shun retrogressive practices such as banditry and female genital mutilation. Kamche Menza for Lunchtime News.
Rabbi, member of National Assembly Kenga Mupe, has withdrawn his provision of transport at Finrolls over claims that it was promoting death in the area. He said the services will be withdrawn for 6 months to gauge reactions from members of the public before deciding whether to entirely scrap or reintroduce them. Rabbi Deputy County Commissioner Joseph Lingari also warned chiefs against allowing discos at Finrolls, terming them breeding grounds for teenage pregnancies, alcohol and substance abuse, as well as gender-based violence.
Kufikia Januari tarehe 1, ile huduma ambayo nilikuwa ninaipeana ya gari kusaidia wananchi, ukiwa umefelewa, ukiwa ni mgonjwa, huduma hiyo nitaisimamisha kwa miezi 6 kuangalia hapa katikati watu wetu wasiweze kufa.
Ule chief hiyo disco matanga itafanyika kwake. Januari mimi ndaanza kuandikiana naye barua. Na hiyo barua kama itakuwa mzuri, mimi sijui kama mheshimiwa utafuata Nairobi kusaidia yeye, lakini mimi ndapeleka yeye nyumbani. Hiyo mambo ya disco matanga sitaki na sitaki.
Elsewhere, police in Kilifi County have been warned against harassing mnazi sellers during the festive season. Governor Gideon Mungaro and Watamu member of County Assembly Ibrahim Matumbo said residents should be let free to enjoy the Christmas holidays by consuming their traditional brews without conditions.
Kabla tuende sikukuu, nishaongea na mkubwa wa polisi wa Kilifi. Tutakuwa na mkutano na wamama wa Mangwe. Kwa hivyo mtachagua wawakilishi wa kila sub county waje kwa hiyo mkutano. Tutawaruhusia watu wafanye biashara yao ya mnazi, tutawapa leseni.
Kama kuna mtu anakunywa mnazi wake, wachaneni na nini? Na yeye. Kama kuna mama anauza mnazi wake, wachaneni na yeye. Hii ni sikukuu na tunataka watu, kwa sababu hatungependa Disemba hii tusikie mumekuja ganda hapa ati mumeshika wauzaji mnazi mumewapeleka police station pale.
9 minutes past the top of the hour. We are due for our first break. Still plenty more continuing to shape the news this Sunday afternoon. We recall with that. Stay with us.
A game changer with regional impact.
This is the community that was forgotten. For now, we are okay.
Tumefurahi maana ameleta maendeleo kubwa sana.
When you look at this project, it has many components. That's what makes it unique.
We had schools and markets, including even health centers.
This project will go a long way in opening up the region in northwest Kenya.
It is a model that took transport connectivity to the next level.
We also bring new ideas and innovation to the people who live in this area.
The impact of the Kenya-South Sudan Link Road this Sunday at 6:40 p.m. on KBC.
Technology has become a crucial part of our society. Without technological advancements, so much of our everyday lives would be drastically different. As technology develops, it strives to fulfill the changing needs of society. This means that technology exists to help us achieve the things that we wouldn't be able to achieve without it. Take on Tech looks at the advantages and downside of technological innovation in a world that is becoming increasingly dependent on new digital technologies. Every Monday at 10:30 p.m.
These are people who are paving the way for female comedians who are winning our hearts and cracking our ribs one show at a time.
I'm a stand-up comedian full-time, but I'm also a screenwriter and a producer at times.
I am a stand-up comedian and I do leather design.
I'm an AWS, Amazon Web Services, solutions architect.
And then of course, I'm a stand-up comedian.
It's hard to explain to my mom I've been fired when I was barely working.
I know.
Yeah.
Just every setback, you know, can definitely be a new beginning for you. And for a very long time, I would like to make my brothers laugh. I didn't even know there's something like stand-up comedy.
Things that were happening, and that's when my family started calling me a ray of sunshine, you know? Like you bring cheer and joy. And I was like, let's take this to the stage.
I hope that more women are encouraged to get into comedy.
Welcome back. You're still on Lunchtime News, and a section of Kenyan artists is asking the government to reconsider the proposal to impose a 15% tax on content creation. The artists say unless there is a substantial investment in the creative industry, the tax measures will not be sustainable. The artists spoke in Machakos, where they emphasized the need for the government to prioritize the development of the creative industry before imposing additional taxes.
We need the government to invest in our creatives. Huwezi kuja ati sisi tumengangana and now you want to tax us. Haiwezi, unaelewa? Wewe like government lazima invest in creatives so that you can be able to tax them. Unaelewa? But huwezi tax mtu hakuna kitu imepewa, hawajatengewa anything.
Because ukiangalia the creative industry imekuwa so diverse, ni kubwa sana. Na sisi kama youth ndio tunafaa kwa tunasaidika hapa, because si kila wakati tunangoja eti we get employed or what. Tumeweza kuonyesha that sisi wenyewe tunaweza kujiemploy through this thing.
And a group of youths led by human rights activist Eric Omondi and Ian Washika are urging Kenyans to enroll in the Social Health Insurance Fund to ease their costs. Speaking at the Kakamega General Hospital, where they visited and donated essential supplies to the mothers of newborn babies, the group also called on Kakamega Governor Fernandes Baraza to waive hospital debts for patients detained due to unpaid medical bills. The group also marched to the Kakamega County morgue to condemn the recent brutal killing of a woman in the area. They called for stringent measures against the perpetrators of gender-based violence.
Cancer unakuwa covered. Ukikuwa na dialysis, figo yako imaribika, you are covered. So kitu ambayo nataka tu ni wananchi wajue vile wanajibu maswali ndio uweke kwa kiwango yako.
Christmas ni wiki mbili hata haitafika. Bwana Governor, nimenyenyekea, nimeshika mkono pamoja. Hawa wamama wamesimama nyuma yangu. Wasikule Christmas hapa. Si ndio? Bwana Governor asiseme ati nacheza siasa, nasema kwa kamera, natoka hapa naenda kwa ofisi yake. Na mimi niko na namba yake, nitampigia. Venye nimesikia kwa washika. Wale wa 2 months, 6 months, si wakule Christmas nyumbani.
In Homa Bay County, a section of elders from Kwabwai Ward have raised concerns over the rise in insecurity cases allegedly caused by criminal gangs comprised of youths. The gangs are accused of attacking and assaulting women and children, particularly during the night time. The elders have expressed fears that the ongoing insecurity could hinder economic development in the region. They are now appealing to the county government of Homa Bay to repair access roads damaged by heavy rains, noting that poor infrastructure exacerbates the security challenges.
Juzi kuna kijana ambaye anaitwa Arafat Angwen alikata kijana ambaye anasoma kwa darasa la 6, na kijana tayari yuko kwa hali ya mstuti kwa hospitali. Pamoja na wazee wako tuko na shida sana kwa Bwai, na ninaomba serikali ambayo tuko naye, machief na ACC na polisi, ili tufanye patrol, ili wamama wafanye biashara kwa mamnifu, sio kwa shida.
Long before there used to be some security lights, some whereby women were selling their things after very late hours. Those things are now vandalized, they are stolen.
Children living with cerebral palsy, autism and other conditions in Kericho County received an early Christmas treat organized by well-wishers led by Arise and Shine Foundation at Baptist Church in Kericho Town. Founder, Arise and Shine Foundation, Pamela Keno, said the event was aimed at appreciating the caregivers for their dedication towards the children. The caregivers, who also received professional training on how to handle such children, were also urged to avoid hiding their disabled children at home, but instead come out and get the necessary assistance and support.
Moja tukusanyike pamoja, tule chakula pamoja, tufurahikie pamoja, na hili pia mtoto mlemavu aone ya kuwa hayuko peke yake, ama caregiver asione ya kuwa katika changamoto ambao anapitia ya kuwa hayuko peke yake.
It's difficult to take care of a child that's disabled, and it's a lifelong commitment. And so we're very thankful that Pamela and Rise and Shine in this church have come alongside to offer support, but also to encourage these women to be support to each other.
I'm one of the beneficiaries. Nimesaidika, nimepata wheelchair na ninashukuru kabisa.
Imefika wakati kwa Kericho County ipitishe sheria ya Disability Act ambayo imekaa kutoka 2005 up to now.
Time for your sporting action, and Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has said he has no regrets after signing a 2-year contract extension despite the club's current struggles. Manchester City have just one win in 6 games across all competitions since the Spanish manager's new contract was unveiled last month, keeping him at the club until 2027. Following a series of disappointing Premier League performances, the reigning champions find themselves in 5th place with 27 points, trailing leaders Liverpool by 9 points. They are already out of the FA Cup and are 22nd in the European Champions League table after a 2-0 loss to Juventus, with only the top 24 avoiding elimination. However, the 53-year-old remains ambitious to keep his team among the elite of the world of football. The Kenya Rafting Federation has officially been inaugurated in Sagana. The newly formed federation will manage the adventure water sports in collaboration with the African and global governing bodies. At the launch, the sustainability of water sports was discussed with those in attendance, bringing to the fore the need to protect the rivers from the source to the delta. Our very own Daniel Wahome was at the event and filed this report.
The rapids on River Sagana. A turbulent flow of white water coupled with an uneven riverbed and steep gradients every few meters. This is not what would be considered a boat operator's paradise, but it offers the perfect setting for rafting. This adventure sport can be taken up for leisure, commercial or competitive purposes. From the sporting perspective, rafters compete in teams of 6 or 4, known as R6 and R4 respectively, classified as per age grades and gender. The competitors paddle through a designated course with obstacles made as gates, hoping to be the first past the post. For leisure purposes, anyone can be introduced to the sport.
So this is what we call a personal flotation device. At all times, it keeps you afloat whenever you are doing an outdoor river adventure. So with this, it has clips. So when you clip it, you start with the lower buckle first. You clip that, you clip this, and then you clip that, and the last one. So now, at the side, it has the adjustments. So this equipment should be tight on your body fitting. So when you adjust these ones, it will be tight onto your body. Because whenever you are being helped while you are inside the river, you'll have to be pulled by the jacket shoulder straps, where my hands are. Because we can't pull you by your arm, maybe you might have a weaker shoulder. And when we pull you by your arm, you might dislocate your shoulder. We are at the river, there are some rocks, and maybe you might find yourself falling down. So the helmet is for the head injury. Whenever you knock yourself down, it will protect your head.
The Kenya Rafting Federation was officially inaugurated on the 13th of December 2024 at the Rapids Camp in Sagana, and will be mandated to run the sport in the country in collaboration with a global body.
So we also look to bring the World Championship here for rafting in future, because we have the infrastructure in place now. We have hotels in place, we have enough, we have the river, which is great, and we have as stakeholders who are supporting this movement. So it's a great initiative.
Rafting is not possible without a water body, and there is need to ensure that our rivers do not run dry, as was emphasized by the Chief Conservator of Forests Emeritus Julius Kamau.
We're going to have a challenge because rafting is an non-extractive activity, and that is a good thing. But if we continue experiencing the nature and how it is treating us, swinging from drought to extreme floods, then you're never going to have a good environment and a good environment safely that can support rafting. So the nexus I want to draw onto all of us as we create the awareness is that we need to protect our forest ecosystem, both in the highlands. We have to change the way we do our farming in our own farms, because if we don't do that, then the soil load go into the river and then to cause problems.
The river goes up and down faster than it's ever done before. The river is browner with silt, worse than it's ever been before. And it's getting worse and worse in a year. So if this federation comes together and we tackle that, fantastic.
The Rafting Federation is working with the TVET Authority to grow the skill set for the industry.
We are going to train you, and then you can train the students. We have 900 to 1 million students who leave school every year. And we know for water sports, if we get 100,000 people, will not be able to handle that. So it's a great initiative. Kenya Rafting Federation is leading that.
And they have a new member from the East African community, the Democratic Republic of Congo.
We have came here to learn and to planify on how we are going to even start the same project where we come from.
It's not every day that a conversation around the environment would really feature when it comes to sport. But with rafting now having an official federation in Kenya, the onus is on them to ensure that water bodies all around the country are well conserved from source to the deltas, so that they may have continuity in their activities.
And now, before we close this live broadcast, we have one more story we want to run by you, where a section of religious leaders are calling for more public sensitization on genetically modified crops before mainstreaming the crops into the food system. The leaders say researchers should take the lead in sensitization and GMO policy formulation to enhance safety standards.
Early this year, the High Court dismissed all petitions challenging the lifting of the ban on GMO crops in the country. The ruling paved the way for the importation and cultivation of GMO crops in the country after a lengthy ban. A section of religious leaders now want mass public sensitization to inform the public on cultivation and consumption of GMOs in the country to reduce cases of misinformation.
The church is also very ready and willing to be used as a vessel to educate the masses about the safety of these foods, and this will bring trust among our members. Let the officials come out and tell Kenyans, we are here, we are existing for you, this is what we are doing.
Nilikuwa nadhani ya kwamba GMO ni kitu ambayo inaweza dhuru afya ya mwanadamu,
na tulikuwa tunaambiwa na watu wengi ya kwamba tukienda GMO way itatudhuru kiafya.
Researchers have been encouraged to take the lead in sensitizing the public on GMO crops to ensure farmers get crucial information about GMO cultivation to increase yields. The Biosafety Authority has been advised to partner with relevant stakeholders to craft policies that will guide mainstreaming of GMO into the country's food system.
What we are telling Kenyans is that we have adequate regulatory systems in place and they should not fear. And the purpose for this modification is to improve harvests. And this is being done within a very clear law and regulatory systems that are being put in place.
The government says it is planning a series of sensitization meetings across the country before fully rolling out GMO cultivation in the country.
We operate within the law, within the framework, and where we have authorization to import and to use GMO-based foods, as you have importantly said. There are procedures and frameworks to do that, especially labeling, making sure that when you get a GMO product, it is well labeled, and when you go to a shelf and you realize that this is a GMO, you make a choice, very informed choice, because the label is very clear that it's GMO. So those are the procedures we want to be put in place. They are there in place, but they need to be operationalized.
And that's all the time we had for you this afternoon. We appreciate you for joining us. This has been KBC Lunchtime News. I'm Doreen Arange. Baron Abuli has been our sign language interpreter. Good afternoon.